I got some good ones for you today. Here's 4 more of Layne's Harmonies. The first one we're gonna do is Rain When I Die, and we're gonna skip all the way to the bridge for some of my favorite harmony that Layne does. Here we go. So first, let's find the chords. I know this is... So what I'm hearing is the high note is she will let me hide down the roots of the chorus. And then right under that is the 5th. She will let me hide. Exactly the same, but a 5th underneath. So we're hearing this. Right? Beautiful 5ths, and of course these are 4ths because the root's on top. So if you count all the way up 5, put it an octave lower, you're a 4th lower than the root. But without music theory, it's this sound. Right? It's the root's on top and the 5th's underneath. Here's what makes it creepy and eerie to me. Underneath, why don't we give it one more listen? Listen for the lowest note and tell me what you hear. She won't let me hide. So we're hearing... So, let's do the next line. She don't want me to cry. 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 So what we're hearing there is parallel triads in first inversion, meaning the 3rd is on the bottom, and the 3rd is the note that gives the chord character. Without the 3rd, you have this. Right? You have... But with the 3rd, you have... But you hear what I'm saying. There's a lot more context to the chord. And so Layne puts the 3rd on the bottom and really quiet, and it's freaking awesome, man. That's Rain When I Die. Let's go to number 2 here. You requested it. Get Born Again. So we're going to start with the first verse. Let's give it a listen.
Said suffering, I knew him when fell with a friend of mine.
I'm hearing a similar kind of thing, but it's not parallel. We're actually staying within the scale, which is called diatonic, meaning they're not going to all be the same pattern, like, right? So here's what I'm hearing. Sad suffering. Actually, let's do top down again. This time, the top note isn't the root. The top note is the 3rd of the chord.
Said suffering.
Sad suffering, I knew him when farewell a friend of mine. Right? And then we have the root, which I find fascinating because the root is real quiet. You can barely hear it.
Said suffering, I knew him when fell with a friend of mine.
So we have sad suffering, and then we go down to the next note. Sad suffering, I knew him when farewell a friend of mine. Something like that. And then the lower one, this is actually the one we hear the most, which is now going to be the 5th. So we have the 3rd on top, the root in the middle, and the 5th on bottom. Just those are the starting notes of the chord. What's really cool, another cool thing is both of these harmonies so far have been what they call closed harmonies, meaning they're not skipping a chord tone. So like you could do harmony like fifth on the bottom. Yeah, wait, hold on. Let's do this. Fifth on bottom, third in the middle, root on top. Right? And he does that sometimes, but both these examples have been really tight, close harmonies like this. Something like that, but you can hear it's really outlining the E flat minor chord. Okay, so the bottom note is sad suffering, I knew him when, farewell the friend of mine. And that's the one we can hear the most. So we've got sad suffering, and then sad suffering, and then sad suffering. And you can hear when it goes down 2 notes like that, the harmony is 2 notes below. So, and then that ending note of that one is the starting note of the other one. And that last note. So if you put these together with by themselves, it's cool. That's the scale. And then you put them together, and it's Okay, let's do the next line.
The friends of mine, try not to think, I merely blink, hope you wish away the
Let's wait for it.
Can you protect?
Woo! And it stays those same harmonies, nice and low, but he gives it a little grat because there's distortion underneath. So that last line, let's listen to it.
Try not to think.
So low, it's try not to think, I merely blink. And then the other ones. Try not to think, I merely blink. Try not to think, I merely blink. Try not to think, I merely blink. Okay, those are the 3 there, and then it does this really cool part.
Hope you wish away the lies.
Hope to wish away the lies. And then I hear I. So that's like I hear that a lot in Layne Staley, whether it's a minor third or a major third. Like Rooster, I think he does it in there. It reminds me. But anyway, it's a minor third down to the root to the flat 7th. I've heard Stevie Ray Vaughan. 3 root 7. So that's a cool blues grunge Layne thing. So if I do the math here and I'm starting on the 3rd, that means the next harmony is on the 5th. And then the high one. Hope these all line up in post. I'm not going to record each part and put them to a click and any of that stuff. I'm just going to take what I just did, put it together, and hope for the best. So that's Get Born Again. That's just the verse. There's probably a lot more in it, but that's all we're going to cover for now. The next tune, we're going to go. You have 3 seconds to guess. You called it. Soundgarden. I'm just kidding. It's Mad Season. Lifeless Dead. This tune, what's immediately different is we're in standard tuning, so I can actually play the riff, which is. Okay, and then it goes into the singing part, which is. Mike McCready. Something like that. But we're not here for the guitar, so let's listen to these vocals.
Lifeless dead, that unclean bed, till or when her hunger's fed.
Okay, let's pause right there. What I'm hearing is lifeless dead, the root, that unclean bed, and then I'm also hearing lifeless dead, that unclean bad, right? Way up there. And that's a perfect fifth. But it's a perfect fifth in the right way. Root on the bottom, fifth on the top. However, if you listen real close. Till or when our hunger's fed. That's the third. So this time it's another stacked, closed triad, a closed harmony triad with the root on the bottom. So we've done one with the fifth on the bottom. We've done one with the third on the bottom. Now here's the what's called root position with the first note, the root on the bottom. Lifeless dead, that unclean bed. The next one up. Lifeless dead, that unclean bed. And then the one you hear on top. Lifeless dead, that unclean bed. Lifeless dead, that unclean bed.
Her hunger's fed. How he'd wish that they would wed. I promised on our love, she said.
Okay, so now we're moving around. I promised all her love, she said. He's just going from the root to the third. In this case, it's A to C. So what does the note above do? I think, in theory, it should go, I promised all her love, she said, and go up to the fifth, 3 to 5, right? And then we're just outlining chords. It would sound like this. Right? And that could be what's happening. And then the top one, I promised all her love, she said. It's doing another third. So if we were just doing the fifths, that would be... Right? But there is a third in there. Here's the deal, though. Let's listen to one more.
Promises were never kept.
I hear the first and the fifth going up and down.
Alone on dirty floor he slept.
So on that last one, I slept. I don't hear the third underneath. Help. But let's try. I'm going to sing it here and see what it sounds like. Let's sing the root. Alone on dirty floor he slept. And then the high one. Alone on dirty floor he slept. And then the third. Alone on dirty floor he slept. I'm thinking maybe, though, it might be alone on dirty floor he slept. Or something like that. It doesn't sound like it's perfectly parallel, all the chords moving around. Chilling. Alone on dirty floor he slept. Alone on dirty floor he slept.
Alone on dirty floor he slept.
So what I love about this one is the mix. It's mixed perfectly. You hear the root, and then you hear the fifth, and then you barely hear the third, and that's... I went to college for music theory for like a couple days. I learned that the third should be the quietest. Let's say if you have an orchestra of, let's say 10 people that can play one note. Most people should be on the root. So let's say 5 people on the root, whether it's the root or the octave up the root or the lower down or whatever. They're all on the A. And then you have 3 more people on the fifth, wherever you want that fifth, wherever sounds clever to you, wherever's creative. And then you have 3 plus 5. Okay, then you have 2 more guys, playing the third. So that way the third is understated. The third is nice and quiet. That was a random example. My point being is your thirds, if you're singing harmony and there's 3 of you, root's loudest, fifth is the next loudest, and then the third is nice and quiet. So no matter where it is in the arrangement, you can tell Layne was doing that. In Get Born Again, the third on top. Actually, the third on top you can hear pretty good, but in Rain When I Die, the third's on the bottom and it's quietest. All you really hear is, she don't want me to cry, she don't want me, and you really hear, till cry, Now, another thing is you always hear the top. The top one's the easiest one to pick out, at least for me, and I've heard that. That's common for the human ear, to pick out the highest note. So maybe in Get Born Again, when the third's on top, that's the reason why, because he is soft. You know. Try not to think. He's soft falsetto-y. I nearly think. It's like a head voice falsetto kind of mix. And the other ones you hear on the bottom is the fifth. So maybe it's, it's open to creativity, but that's kind of cool. In Lifeless Dead here, you hear the root the most, the fifth the second most, and the third most. Let's move on to the last one. You called this one too, from my favorite album. It's called Alice in Chains, or we call it Three-Legged Dog, or Tripod, if you will. This one is going to take a minute to really listen, because I don't think it's closed harmony. I don't think they're stacked in thirds. I don't think they're going to follow the rules of which note should be. We just got to listen. Head creeps. Let's go. Pretty cool, pretty bluesy. It's going E flat. It's like a bluesy thing in my ear. I'm hearing the 6th scale degree up to the flat 7th, and then what's underneath? Maybe like puppets on a string. Which would be the major third down to the 2, back to the major third, up to the 4. Which is those stacked fourths, fifths, but it's, the fifths on the bottom and then the roots on the top. Let's keep going. Let's go to the chorus. This is when shit gets cool. Woo, that riff though. Slide me to the side again. Slapped in the face again. Okay, so I'm hearing like this kind of a chord progression. Not exactly right. I'm not learning I'm not learning any of that. I'm just kind of trying to find the harmony bed, the root and all that. So let's go to the beginning. Time to call the doggies off. Something like that. And then underneath, time to call the doggies off. So we're hearing like something like that. Lots of fifths. There's a lot of parallel motion, like half steps down and stuff, which is really cool. Because the chord technique, that would be what I hear sometimes. So it's loose. It's not within the constraints of these frets. Tired of the shadow wind. It's like a third there. Tired of the shadow wind. So what's the lower one? Tired of the shadow wind. Tired of the shadow wind. Tired of the shadow wind. And then the top one's tired of the shadow wind. It bends. Minor to major third. Next one. Slide me to the side again. Another this kind of thing. Slide me to the side again. Okay, and the last one. Slapped in the face again. And then you really hear that low one. Slapped in the face again. Just kind of a blues line. Minor third down to 1. What's on top? Slapped in the face again. Slapped in the face again. Okay, so I'm hearing. Right. slapped in the face again. And then the other one's slapped in the face again. So he's using bigger intervals for this, and there's only 2 parts, I'm pretty sure. There could be a third part that's like doubling or going in and out of unison. This one's tough, man. This one is hard. Type in the comments what you think is going on here, if you want to use fancy harmony terms, music theory terms, or if you want to just say, hey, maybe he's just kind of going for it. Because there's some times here where I'm trying to rationalize or I'm trying to theorize what's happening, but I think it's just try it again, and he does it, and he's like got something in his head, and he lays it down, and it's beautiful, and it's awesome. But I'm hearing a lot of cool stuff, so let's go through the top here.
Time to call the doggies off. Woo! Tired of the shadow wind. Slide me to the side again. Slapped in the face again.
So what I'm hearing is, right, it's minor third bending up slightly to like the major third. But I don't know if it gets all the way up. Oh, it's such a cool sound. That's why the third gives you so much character. Basically, they're outlining the E flat chord even while Jerry's so like. Time to call the doggies off. Tired of the shadow wind. Slide me to the side again. Slapped in the face again. It's tough, man. That's such a cool part. Probably the most chilling of this group of 4 that we did. That's all I got for you today, man. Why don't you guys comment below what the next 4 should be? Give me 4 chilling songs that I haven't done in part 1, 2, or 3, and we'll cover them on the next one. Keep it real, y'all, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more Alice in Chains, or maybe we do this with Chris Cornell. I don't know. Maybe we do this with any of the other grunge guys or any band at all. Just comment below what you think would be fitting. I also do deep dives. If you want me to deep dive any of these songs, comment below. If you want me to do any reactions to live videos of these songs, let me know. Yada yada. If you're still here, thank you so much. I'm rambling. Ramble on. Peace.